Welcome back. An Alabama woman who left the U.S. to join ISIS now wants to come back to the U.S. Hoda Muthana says that she was, quote, naive, angry, and arrogant young woman. More than 4 years later, she says she has changed. But President Trump ordering Secretary of State Mike Pompeo not to allow her to return to the U.S., claiming that she is not a U.S. citizen. Now her family plans to sue over this issue. Joining me now to discuss is Hoda's family attorney, Hassan Shibly. Mr. Shibly, thanks for taking the time this morning.
My pleasure.
So you're aware of the president's comments here. In fact, he tweeted that he's instructed Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and he fully agrees not to allow Hoda back into the country. And Secretary Pompeo repeated that vow this morning. What is your argument? Why, in your view and her family's view, should Hoda be allowed back into the U.S.?
Well, it's interesting because Hoda's not just asking to stroll on home with a free pass as if nothing wrong happened. What she's actually asking is to be held accountable to our legal system, to have the due process that any American citizen is entitled to. She was, in fact, born in the United States. Her father was not a diplomat at the time that she was born. She's an American citizen. And the great thing about America is we have a legal system. When people break the law, they can be held accountable to our legal system, and we believe in our legal system. And Hoda is willing to pay the debt she owes to society, including facing jail time for the mistakes that she's made after she was brainwashed by ISIS. And I think what's very ironic about this is Hoda's asking to be held accountable to our legal system and pay the debt she has to society, while Trump is essentially giving her a free pass. He's actually almost letting her go. He's saying that the United States doesn't have jurisdiction over her. And in doing that, not only is he giving her a free pass, but he's essentially undermining birthright citizenship, something that he's actually been trying to do for quite some time now.
Let me ask you, though, in terms of her willingness to accept responsibility. In an interview with ABC News, when asked if she was willing to face punishment on return to the U.S., she said she should get therapy. She said therapy classes. What's she talking about there? Is she willing to face jail time for joining a terrorist group?
Correct. Hoda has made many remarks that she understands that she may face decades behind bars, and she's willing to pay that price. That was her first national media interview. She was really scared. She was nervous. She's not a professional, and she's not here to spin anything. She's very genuine. We've had many conversations that she's willing to spend decades behind bars if that's the debt she owes to society, but she's asking for a chance to be processed through our legal system. We have one of the greatest legal systems in the world, and we shouldn't try to circumvent it like the Trump administration repeatedly tries to do.
Has she told you, and is she willing to give an accounting of what support she provided ISIS while in Syria, beyond marrying 3 ISIS fighters and giving birth to the child of one of them?
She's willing to offer a full accounting. She's willing to take responsibility. She's willing to pay whatever debts she has to society. I don't think anybody in America really, there's very few people in America right now who resent ISIS as much as she does, because she does recognize that she was completely brainwashed by them. She's destroyed her life, her future, the future of her child. And not only does she want to speak out against them and let the world know how evil they are and how great America is, but she also wants to speak out to ensure that she can help protect other people from falling victim to manipulation and brainwashing and committing the terrible mistakes that she herself did.
She was, though, 19. She was an adult when she went over to join. It's a long trip over there. There's a lot of time to think about it. Did she support any acts of terror while she was in Syria?
You know, it's difficult to know what exactly she did at this point while she was in Syria, because she didn't have complete control over her social media. And I think what's mind-boggling right now is that the New York Times, The Guardian, and ABC News have all been able to interview her on the ground, get her side of the story, and they've all found her very genuine in her tremendous remorse. They found that she was very naive, vulnerable woman.
But I'm asking you about the specifics.
What's troubling is the
I'm
FBI.
not talking about social media. I'm saying, did she provide support for acts of terrorism
as far as we know, she
ISIS
did not.
Carried out while she was there?
As far as we know, she did not. But this Sunday, I actually called the FBI, and I told them that, the media is out there interviewing her. I think you owe it to this country that you go and you interview her. You see what law she's broken. You see if she's a threat. Do your job. Go interview this American, and they've refused to do so. So that's really mind-boggling to me.
Well, okay, give me the opportunity. I will happily speak to her. I'm just, and that's the reason why I'm asking you to see if you could give us an accounting of what she did while she was there.
As far as we know, she did not. As far as we know, so what happened is once she got there, it's very reminiscent to sex trafficking. As soon as she got there, they locked her up in a room with 200 other women, locked the doors, had armed guards outside the doors, and said, "You're not getting out of this room until you marry someone." and they gave her a list of random men. Now, I mean, you can imagine a woman, she's never had a relationship before, she's put in that circumstance. I think, you know, she has a level of accountability. You know, she should have known better. And when she went, I helped the family immediately report her to law enforcement and condemn her actions. But at the end of the day, listen, she's not asking for a free pass. She wants to face our legal system. We have a great legal system, and I'm not sure why Trump is apparently giving her a free pass by saying the U.S. doesn't have jurisdiction over her. It's very troubling.
Hassan Shibly, thank you for joining us, and let's follow up because I would like the opportunity to speak to her as well.
My pleasure. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America.
Coming up, House Democrats.